Dear students, professors, members of the Diplomatic Corps, friends of Kosovo, friends of Finland, I am especially pleased to be in this country that has been such a great friend of the people of Kosovo, in the homeland of late President Marti Ahtisaari, who left a legacy that is deeply embedded in the history of independent, sovereign, and democratic Republic of Kosovo. His unmatched commitment to peace and diplomacy played a vital role in shaping our path to statehood. And it is precisely for this reason that today's address holds a profound significance, not only as a reflection of the vision of the people that I represent on behalf of Kosovo, but also as a tribute to one of our greatest allies and one of the most steadfast architects of peace, not just in our region, but also in the world. Everywhere I go around the globe representing the people of the Republic of Kosovo, it's always the students and faculty that I mostly look forward to speaking with. I would say because I miss my time with students, but at the same time it's because it's in your ideas, your ambition, and your courage that the future is actually being written. And especially so because growing up as a child of war during the Milosevic regime, they relentlessly tried to deprive us of our right to education. Therefore, I hold the value of learning especially dear. So to stand before you today in a place of knowledge and progress is not only personally meaningful, but a powerful reminder of how far we've come from a very, very difficult past. Kosovo is indeed a young republic, and with the youngest population in Europe, but it's home to a nation as old as Europe itself. Being here in Finland, I'm reminded how much our people have in common. Even if our histories are written in different languages, they are bound together by universal aspirations. The right of every nation, of every citizen, to live in freedom and dignity. It is that same aspiration that defines Kosovo's history, and it is that same aspiration that has always fueled our vision. A vision for a Kosovo that is fully integrated into the European Union and NATO as values-based systems. A Kosovo that actively contributes to peace, stability, and prosperity, not only in our region, but across our shared European home. That journey towards freedom, dignity, and democracy was shaped by a long-term sacrifice, not by fate. It was forged through unimaginable hardship during Milosevic's brutal genocidal regime and many, many years of occupation and oppression. It was forged when Kosovo's children and young people were systematically denied access to education, when schools and universities were closed for us, and when learning and studying itself became an act of resistance. That was the story of everyone in Kosovo, and that was equally my story. Yet even then, in private homes turned into improvised classrooms, our students, our teachers, armed only with books and courage, as well as an unbreakable will, kept the flame of knowledge alive. And after the war, amid the ruins left behind by destruction, we stood up once again, rebuilding our schools from the ashes, reviving our universities, and proving to the world that no amount of oppression can extinguish a people's yearning for freedom and education. So when we declared independence in 2008, we did so with a clear promise to the world that we would build a democratic and inclusive state, one that is equal to all. And in that pivotal and historical moment, Kosovo was not alone. Among the voices standing with us and helping us, was one of Finland's greatest leaders, President Ahtisaari, who stood shoulder to shoulder with us as we penned our story as a sovereign, democratic, and independent state. And it was not just him. The people of Finland stood with us, understanding very well what it means to fight and sacrifice for your freedom. So Kosovo will always honor this visionary legacy, because as President Ahtisaari believed and proved, everyone has the right to be seen and be heard. So fast forward to today, we face many of the same challenges as any other European democracy. But still, Kosovo stands as a beacon of what is possible. What is possible when a people looks towards the future. We have built strong democratic institutions, a youth-driven economy, and a foreign policy that is anchored firmly with Euro-Atlantic values. We have shown that from the ashes of war, a people can rise, just as Finland once proved to the world that resilience is more powerful than oppression. And we know that it is always the people who build a country. It is always the people, the most important asset, who make hope real. So the future of Europe is being shaped today, not only in Brussels and Strasbourg, but also in Pristina, in Helsinki, in Kiev, and beyond. We must remember that the European project was born out of the ashes of war. It was born as a bold declaration that never again would violence dictate the fate of our continent. That never again would we allow a bigger bully to destroy a smaller free nation. In this era of profound global transformation, the strength of the Euro-Atlantic community depends on the unity and the resilience of its members. And Europe must do its share. This is a call for deeper cooperation within our transatlantic alliance, rooted in mutual responsibility and contribution. Faced with growing external challenges and internal pressures, European nations must prioritize cohesion, dismantle unnecessary barriers, and stand firmly behind those who commit themselves to reform and integration. History teaches us that whenever we leave vacuums, malign actors will fill them in. Today is no different. Those with hostile intentions exploit every hesitation, every delay of the European Union. The way to resist that malign intention is clear, by going back to the very commitment, to the very foundation of the EU and NATO. Enlargement, inclusion. Inclusion for those who seek it, for those who work for it, and for those who believe in it, who truly believe in it. So just to be clear, Kosovo seeks no privilege, but fairness. We seek no special treatment, but respect for our hard work and reforms. We seek no shortcuts, but a seat at the table as a result of a merit-based process. We are ready to do our part. We are already doing our part. We may be small in size, but we are vast in determination. And we may be young in statehood, but we are ancient in our love for freedom. So today, as we witness the return of aggressive, expansionist, and imperialistic ideologies, we must all reaffirm our commitment to a Europe that is whole, free, and at peace. And that is only possible if countries like Kosovo and Finland continue to speak up. We must, as we already do, raise our voices against Russia's ever-growing territorial ambitions, against its genocidal mindset, and against its efforts to destabilize our shared democratic achievements and our way of life. And of course, it is precisely because both our countries know the high price we had to pay for freedom that we have both stood with Ukraine from the very first day of Russia's aggression. But as important it is to fight Russia's ambitions, it's important to understand that they do have some proxy states that they use to pursue these goals. In our region, Russia is actively using Serbia as a proxy to undermine everything we, together with our allies, have built so hard, and everything we continue to build every day. We must continue to reject this mindset that would only take us back to the past. We must continue to defend the values that unite us. Dear students, faculty, representatives, dear members of parliament, the story of Kosovo, just like the story of Finland, proves that small nations can also shape the course of history, that unity matters and that values matter, that standing on the right side of history is the only way to build a future worth living in. Your generation, the generation of students, will decide whether Europe remains true to the ideals upon which it was built. Similarly to all of you here today, Kosovo's young people, Kosovo's youth, who make up more than half of our population, have already made their choice. They have chosen Europe. We have never, ever looked elsewhere. They have chosen democracy, progress, and reforms, as well as a future rooted in the values that this union was built to uphold. So in closing, allow me to borrow the words of another Finland's statesman, President Urho Kekkonen, who said, "A small country must never give up its right to decide its own destiny." Kosovo will never give up on this right. And together with you, our friends and allies, we will continue to build a Europe where every single nation, regardless of its size or history, can stand tall, free, and proud. Because we all share the same dreams, dreams of a stronger Finland, dreams of a stronger Kosovo, dreams of a free Ukraine, dreams of a stronger and united Europe. And let us remember, democracy is never a finished project, and freedom is never guaranteed forever. Peace must never be taken for granted. But protecting it is the most noble mission we each have. They must all be fought for. They must all be defended. And they must all be nurtured, day after day, generation after generation. So from Kosovo to Finland, from my people to yours, this is our shared mission. Keep us. Thank you very much.